dude. So you know how like we talked about like Irene yelling at like the stylist,
Yeah.
which is something that she shouldn't have done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I never fully forgave her for that, right?
And now you do.
I'll say this: if Red Velvet continues to release songs like this, she can yell at any stylist she wants.
You're a bully apologist.
I don't care.
All right, getting right on in. The girls are back. The 5 queens from SM. That's right.
You
Red
call
Velvet.
everyone queens. I swear you call
They're
everyone
back.
queens.
They back.
We are all queens today.
They're all queens. Queendom.
Stop.
Yeah, they recently came back with a album called geez, what is it even called? Oh, the Reve
You
Festival
forgot?
2022. Feel the rhythm. Hello to everybody tuned in. You're listening to Offbeat Koreans. We're going to cover some of the latest K-pop news and controversies. So if you want to hear more of our podcast, check it out on our YouTube channel. And as always, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. All right, the album, boys, 6 song. I think that's the typical way. The title track called "Feel My Rhythm." It's a representative mix of classical with pop music. It's very much like a mix of elegant tones, as well as like a hardcore trap genre, from what I saw. With the music video also released along with it. So we could start off with talking about the title track called "Feel My Rhythm."
I'll go first. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
So they sampled Bach's Air on the G string, right?
Oh yeah, the classical composer.
Yeah, that's the classical aspect you hear in the song. Interesting choice, I think. But if anyone was to do it, Red Velvet would be my guess. The song almost feels like it gives me Psycho feeling, like a feeling of Psycho. I don't know why. I think it's the strings. I know, like, yeah, I think it's the strings. That's what it has to do with it. I don't know, but it feels like the successor to Psycho, but albeit a more like I don't know, like a positive, upbeat, more like a happier tone. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I like the song. I think I do. It's very refreshing to hear from Red Velvet for once in a while, you know, for me. That's how I felt. Man, what I really liked about this comeback though, specifically the title track, right, is in the MV, there was a lot of art history references.
Interesting.
Yeah, the first one that really caught my attention was when Joy was like laying down in a river, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a direct reference to Ophelia, the painting where Ophelia is like drowning in the river and she's like singing, right? I thought, it's beautiful. I really like how they blended, like they even gave like very very rough paint stroke esque filter to the MV. I really liked it. There's references to Monet, like it was when Irene was holding the umbrella with this sky above her and like flowers in front. It's a reference to like Claude Monet's Woman with a Parasol. I did my research and I just thought it was really cool because you're not only tying in this classical component to the music, but you're actually resonating it throughout the MV too. You know, I thought it was really creative. I liked it a lot. I
I
thought
knew I was missing something.
it was so pretty. I thought the MV was well done. The song itself, I don't have much to complain about. I think the chorus is the only part that I wasn't too much of a fan of, but I think everything building up to the chorus, great. I liked it a lot. At least those are my thoughts on Feel the Rhythm. Or Feel My Rhythm. Damn it. I'm just gonna make this like a running gag where I just get the title of every song incorrect.
Just get like one
Just
word
one
off.
word off, yeah. Yeah.
Dubious. Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. This is my favorite K-pop song of 2022.
Oh wow. Okay.
So like
Like, aside from Stacy, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, Stacy's head above, you know, head and shoulders above everyone else. The thing is, like, when the song first started, it's like, you know, a lot of Red Velvet songs, you just don't know where they're gonna go, right? So you just kind of have to be a little kind of cautious. But like my head started bobbing automatically, so I was like, okay, this is a good sign, right? And then you know, I think the first part that I really liked in the song was actually like Joy's pre-chorus. And I think Wendy sings the next pre-chorus, but It sounds a lot kind of like wedding / like choir. And like the song that I kind of think about is like if anyone has heard of a song called Sunday Candy by Chance the Rapper, you know how it kind of has like the choiry feel. That's the feeling. Yeah, kind of gospel feel. Yeah. And I started getting that feeling. I was like, and I like those kind of songs. So I was like, oh, this is good. And then even the kind of like visuals of the music video were kind of bright, and they were in kind of like open space and this like auditorium looking place. I was like, okay, I like this. And like for me personally, I thought the chorus slapped. Like I loved it. Like when the chorus dropped, like my head was just bobbing up and down. And I was like, this is funky, but this is like the Red Velvet kind of like funky that I missed a lot, like for the past like 2.5 years or however, or whenever Psycho came out, right? And yeah, I really enjoy the song. To me, it was like I would liken it to like a fun movie where it was just throughout the whole song I enjoyed it. There weren't that many like parts that I thought was slow or boring or anything. I think they put in the right amount of like spice here and there to make the song enjoyable as a whole. Like I thought like the start of verse 2 where they put in like the weird like blah 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 blah, blah like up and I don't know how to replicate it, but like no, not that one. Right before Joy goes in, I thought was really fun. I actually thought Yeti's rap lines were.
Oh yeah, she did well.
Yeah, it was fun and more. It wasn't anything extravagant, but it was more complex than the type of rap lyrics that she had before.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really good. I guess my only I have like two slight complaints about the song. As a song, I thought like the first part of the bridge, it was like Wendy and then Yeti's like short rap and Surugi's part. I thought it was slightly a little weak. But I did like the second half where like Joy, kind of brought it back before the chorus. And I thought the ending of the song was actually kind of abrupt. Like in my head, I expected it to kind of melodiously kind of decrease like in a decrescendo, crescendo or whatever. But it would just kind of like stop, and I was like, oh, that's not what I was expecting.
I think
yeah,
it might be like a trend. So I'm forecasting here, right? I think it might be a trend going ahead where K-pop songs aren't gonna have like extravagant bridges anymore, as opposed to like the earlier days of K-pop, or like even like before now. I think it might be a trend going forward, because even like Stacey's Run to You doesn't have a really strong bridge. At first, I couldn't even tell what part was the bridge.
But then on the other side, you have like aespa's bridge, and they always have something weird.
I don't know. I think it might just be aespa trying to push their vocalists. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for good bridges, so that's why I was like, it kind of stood out to me, where I was like, oh, okay, this part could have been a little stronger.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, I wasn't too upset at the bridge here.
No, it wasn't bad. I liked the chorus and the other parts of the song so much that I was like, okay, if I had to pinpoint or nitpick, then like it would probably be the bridge and the ending.
I will say though, since I'm so wrong all the time, I will preface this by saying that I've only listened to the song once so far.
Yeah, I only listened to it 2 times.
Yeah, in time for this emergency podcast, but like I've only listened to it once, so my opinion might change. But I don't think it's gonna change negatively. If anything, it'll probably be more like, oh wow, I never really appreciated that before.
Yeah. Like, I thought the music video itself was well done. Like I agree with BM. Like the references to paintings, like I didn't know all of them, but like when I saw Ophelia, I was like, oh, this is Ophelia. Like I remember that one. And like I don't know if any of you guys caught it, but apparently like they released it today to commemorate Bach's birthday. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I did not know that.
And I guess that kind of goes into like, or kind of ties in with the even the sound of the song. Had a bit more of that, like kind of like instrument heavy, like classical feel to it. But then like, okay, there were also funny parts in the music video that I don't know, maybe you guys can help me understand. Like, do you remember that part in the video where Irene's giving strawberries to this like golden boy head?
Yeah. Oh, I don't have it here, but
do you remember that? I was wondering if that was like a reference to like some weird like painting or something, because
you might have to pull it up right now.
Okay, it's like later. Yeah, I could give you a timestamp. But when I was watching it, it literally surprised me because the golden head boy was like really freaky. Red
And
velvet.
like Irene was holding up like strawberries, and
Yeah,
he
she
just
was
like
giving strawberries to the golden head, and the head just like popped right.
stabbed it.
Okay, it's at 2:35.
2:35. Oh.
What is this? What
And
the
it's funny
hell is that?
because the strawberry comes back up when Wendy's swimming in the ocean. So I'm just like, is this supposed to be connected?
I don't know. Like Irene's like in a little boat,
Both, yeah.
and I'm just like, this can't be just something straight out of nowhere, right? Like
Yeah.
this has to be some interpretation. But it was really freaky. Like I was like enjoying the song, and then I saw the golden head boy. I was like, whoa, what the hell?
You know what's funny enough? I actually forgot about this when you were referencing it, but when I saw it, I'm like, I remember thinking, huh, it's kind of weird. And then just
Yeah, it was
moving on,
really
you know?
weird.
Yeah.
And also like there was a funny scene in the last scene before the title card comes up. You know when everyone's kind of sitting down and looking at the camera. The timestamp is at 3:39 or 3:38.
Okay.
It's like they're in like a garden and they're all like wearing pretty dress and they're all looking forward. And at the last second, Surugi breaks eye contact and she looks over to Yeti or Irene. And I was like, I don't know if that was a mistake or like a beat cut or yeah, like a blooper or like an Easter egg they just put in, but it was funny.
No, she's looking at Irene.
Yeah, but it's just
It's like this could have come out so much sooner if you didn't go with your controversy.
Damn. But yeah, I thought that was. When I saw it, I was like, what's Surugi doing, dude?
I didn't notice that either, actually. What the?
Yeah.
Mr. Perceptive over here.
It was off. I was like, who's that turning her head?
I was just noticing how I don't like their outfits in the chorus. Maybe that's why I don't like the chorus. Their outfits.
Maybe.
What
Yeah.
about you?
For me, just like top two and bottom two things. I was kind of worried coming into this, just because I always have that issue with SM songs where there's like two different genres kind of stuck together, you know, because like especially NMIX, they did so well with that. But this song, thankfully, there wasn't that issue. You know, there wasn't like two songs smashed together. This one actually felt like consistent all throughout. It didn't feel like, you know, like 1:30 it goes into a different song. And this time it's like a total like trap beat song, you know, like we put like two genres together or anything like that. But like no, this time it was actually cohesive. The delivery was good. Another thing that I really liked as well was the chorus part. Like it's usually like Wendy and Sugi, and they're able to like you guys pointed out, they did this during Psycho as well, and I think that's why it sounded so similar. Is because they do a very high pitched tone, and it's almost like they have this kind of like, it's like a theatrical / like ballerina kind of theme to it. It's almost ethereal in a way. I don't know if that's
kind
how
of Black Swanish, right?
Yeah, and it's something that's not like very girl group like K-pop kind of feel. It's kind of in its own genre. I think I've only really seen Red Velvet pull it off.
It's a little bit more avant-garde.
Yeah, like it's definitely not K-pop, that's for sure. But they were able to pull it off by doing both, by still mixing in like pop elements to it, which I thought was good. Two things I didn't like. Number one, the dance for me was not catchy. Like this specific frame here where they're doing like a little like butt shove backwards was like the only dance I like really remember from the song. And for me, one thing that like, you know, makes a song do well is like, you know, it either has like a very catchy chorus or some kind of like a tune that makes it like, you know, fun to dance to. But like this one, I kind of had a hard time looking for a moment. Like I was literally going like second by second looking through it, and I was just like I don't know, like I wasn't able to see a good one. And the other one was I kind of had that whole thing, but you know, like, and there was a lot of references that I guess I didn't understand, especially like the strawberry frame, and I couldn't help but be a little like confused by it.
I can actually explain this one.
Oh yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so I did my research, and apparently this is a direct reference to Dubious wanting to become a strawberry when he was a kid.
God, dude, this is such a weird reference. No one actually knows the story, dude.
Can you explain it now?
No, it's just like when I was a kid, my parents were like, "What do you want to be in the future?" And I was like, "Strawberry."
Oh, I love that story, dude.
I thought this was like some reference to like Biogun Mud, like a red flavor, but I was like, no, like it can't be, you know.
I don't know, dude. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, we'll
It's also
stay
terrible
confused.
CG.
Uh, if any of you viewers know what this reference is, please comment down below. Help us out. But yeah, going on to the overall album.
Oh wait,
Six
Insider.
entries.
Before you go ahead,
Yeah.
since you're talking about the dance, I wanted to ask, since I'm not like a huge Red Velvet fan.
Oh yeah.
Were their comebacks ever choreo intensive? Since you brought up
Oh,
the
like
fact that like, yeah, yeah. Because you know how you brought up that like you couldn't really remember the choreo and you felt like
yeah,
it was kind of like choreo empty. I was always under the impression that aside from like Sergey being like regarded as a good dancer, I don't think that I never was under the assumption that Red Velvet songs were very choreo intensive. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think when you mean by intensive, it means like a lot of like strong movements. Like these girls they're like moving at every frame, but like especially this song, since we're talking about like ballerinas, it's very just like swift and light on their feet. Not as much sweat as, let's say, like ITZY, you know. But I'll even admit there's some ITZY songs where like they dance a lot. I'm just like, it just kind of seems messy. Girls, like I don't know, like there's no clear frame that I can remember doing their moves. I think for Red Velvet, I think maybe one of the things that they have struggled with is coming out with like catchy dances. And I think, you know, their choreographer is probably the same with like Espas and whatnot. But at least with Espas, like there's clear ones you can remember. Like you know what Next Levels is. You remember in Black Mama they all got down on all fours and like did like a head banging and things like that.
Yeah.
But Red Velvet, like you don't really have that. So
Probably the only one is Red Flavor. I feel like Red Flavor dance was pretty.
Oh
iconic.
yeah.
Which is really interesting because if you look at other SM groups like NCT, pretty choreo
Like,
heavy.
EXO I got into because of their dance, you know, and
Yeah.
Like I don't know, Red Velvet is one of the few SM acts where I'm just like, I don't know, like their dancing isn't like top notch like the others.
I mean, dubious, feel free to like insert your opinion too if you have anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like in terms of dance, like it was never like a heavy performance group. I feel like Red Flavor is the only dance I can even like particularly remember. Peekaboo. Peekaboo is iconic. Peekaboo is iconic. I kind of do agree, especially with this song. Like I feel like listening to it musically I would enjoy, but I don't know if I would actually enjoy the performance because I don't think the performance will be that. I think the song itself lends itself to not be such like favorable to a performance. But also I don't think there was any part of the dance that I was like, oh wow, this is like really memorable, right? Or you know, easy to follow, or you know, would be TikTok worthy. God, I hate myself for saying that, but yeah.
No, it's true. It has to be TikTok.
I think if we're talking about performances, what I would probably prefer seeing is, you know, like those songs where they don't really have a dance, but it's more showing off the singing.
Oh,
I kind of wish like each girl had a spot on the stage where like the lighting would like pan to when it's their part, and they're like in a little bit more avant-garde like pose with like each of their own like personal backdrops or something, you know, something like that. That's what I want to see.
That could work, yeah. Didn't Faithy do that with Yeah, no, they did it with their last album too, and it kind of works.
Yeah,
I don't think they had their own stage.
I remember Twice did it with one of their B-sides where they were sitting on a couch.
Oh, interesting.
I think I watched it with Dubious, and it might ring a bell. But SM, if you're listening, please hurry.
Yeah, please. Yeah, but going back to the general album, 6 entries. Feel My Rhythm was the title. Come on to hear your guys' thoughts on the other 5 songs.
I can go.
Yeah.
Should I do it chronologically or?
In any order.
Okay, I'll just do it chronologically. Rainbow Halo. So this song, how I feel about the song was, I feel like I'm supposed to like the song, right? But something for it doesn't hit. I don't know.
Like it has all the elements that you would typically like in a
Yeah,
song, or okay.
yeah. Something about it just doesn't hit for me. I don't know. I think I like the instrumental enough, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not like too stoked for their execution on it or the delivery. I'm not too sure. I might have to listen to it more. Beg for Me, I liked. I think it's just a bop. Good song. Very, very solid song. Bambo, is it Bamboleo or Bamboleo?
It's Bamboleo.
It's Bamboleo, right?
It's Leo, yeah.
Okay. So Bamboleo, classic city pop feel. I like it a lot. And what's not to like about city pop? You know, like Plastic Love. It's a Japanese city pop song. It's very famous. That kind of like feel of a song is generally regarded as city pop. I like city pop a lot. I mean, it's very pleasant to hear. It's very nostalgic, very retro. I think you're very hard pressed to find someone who at least isn't at least neutral on city pop. You know. That's why I think Bamboleo like works and is successful. Not to mention that they did a good job on it too. The last two songs though, Good Bad Ugly and In My Dreams, I thought they were okay. It might be because I kind of rushed through them, but I don't know. In My Dreams, I feel like has potential for me to like maybe grow on me, but I think yeah, out of the album, it might be Feel My Rhythm, Bamboleo, then Beg for Me,
Interesting.
and then the rest are I wouldn't like really download into my playlist or something, you know.
Interesting. Dubious.
So typically, like Red Velvet's the girl group that I like the songs most from, and not only their like title tracks, but they're one of the groups, maybe one of the only like groups where I typically enjoy the whole album, right?
Right.
Funny enough, this album just didn't really stick with me. So I really like the title track, but none of the other songs stood out for me that much. And so if I was to give it like a ranking, it would probably be it would definitely be Feel My Rhythm at the first place, and then probably Bamboleo, and then like this tier below would be like In My Dream, and Good Bad Ugly, and then like the bottom tier would be like Rainbow, and Beg for Me. And I think like when I was looking at this, I was like, I wonder if there's a pattern to it. And I think for the most part, it's actually in the pattern of like bright songs to like more mature and dark songs. And I think it's because I typically like the Velvet side of Red Velvet. And I think that those are songs that they typically pull off better for me, like just personally. And of course, there's like the outliers, like Psycho and like Bad Boy that are more the red side, right, of Red Velvet that I do enjoy. But typically from their albums, I like the more bright songs, and coincidentally enough, the most bright song from this album was the title track, and yeah, so it wasn't a bad album. It's just one of those albums where typically I like Red Velvet songs in the album entirety, but for me, I probably wouldn't give this album that much of a listen.
Damn.
It's good enough. Feel My Rhythm is good enough. I'll trade that for lesser comebacks, a title track, and an overall better album.
I'm not that far off from that opinion. So I listened to this album twice during work. Yes, I know.
What? You what?
And I kind of went with the scenario of, okay, I'm gonna like listen through the album while I'm just doing my normal day thing, and I'm gonna see what like song kind of like sticks out. Just kind of going down the order, I guess. Rainbow Halo for me, it just kind of had that like SM chorus where like the girls kind of sing together. You kind of hear Sugi and Wendy's voice the most. So I think for me, Rainbow Halo and Beg for Me kind of sounded like regular Red Velvet side tracks with like an SM kind of chorus. Bamboleo sounded kind of like an OST actually. It was kind of hard to remember though because Bamboleo's chorus sounded like Good Bad Ugly's chorus. Not gonna lie, like I went through both songs again, and their chorus kind of like see like the different sides, and I kind of had a hard time. Like no joke. Like I'll ask viewers to kind of listen to the two songs chorus and tell me what the difference is. It felt like I was, it felt like I was trying to make like two different pastas with like the same ingredient, and it was kind of hard to distinguish. But the song that I actually did like the most was actually In My Dreams. This was I don't know if you guys remember. This was kind of the song where like Seulgi kind of like had to strain her voice for the vocal, but it was done in like a non-SM chorus fashion. Her the song was kind of known for having this like very theatrical genre to it, kind of like Feel My Rhythm. But each lyric, like what I found was each lyric kind of had this like tonal shift where it kind of like lifts the notes at the end, so it's kind of like A B C D E F G or something like that. And I felt like the song fit the theme of the album, and the chorus was also the most memorable. And I also feel like, if there was like another song that could have been the title track, it could have been In My Dreams.
In your dreams.
Yeah. And for me, I don't know, like half the songs didn't have like a classical mix. It just kind of felt like normal Red Velvet side tracks for me, which is maybe one of the reasons why it didn't like stick out to me that much. It's no way that these songs are bad. No, like they're good. It's just I just thought that they didn't really stand out as much.
This whole time as you guys were explaining your opinions, I was wondering what could possibly explain these two guys not liking these pretty solid songs. And then it hit me. You guys hate art. It was right in front of me. You guys just hate art.
Maybe it's because we had high expectations. I don't know. Like Red Velvet is like definitely one of those groups where like a lot of their songs are good. They're kind of like on that tier with Stacy. I'm not gonna lie.
I think this album was pretty solid. I was like joking earlier, but I think this album's pretty solid actually.
I think honestly it would just come down to personal preference. It's not it's not like it's like a bad album or anything like that. It's just I think depending on the type of songs that you enjoy. Well, actually that's for everything. So I don't know what point I'm even trying to make.
I think this album is pretty. I think it's diverse enough where most people listening to it will find some like one song they'll like at least.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of good to talk about, especially because our next podcast episode would be about our conversation on Red Velvet, their history, and like a possible decline.
Dude, that is gonna be so untimely now after this comeback. People are gonna be like, "Are these guys crazy?" And they're like, "These guys think Red Velvet's in decline after this comeback?"
But yeah, I guess the last question I kind of wanted to talk with you guys about was basically your overall thoughts on this comeback. The 6 songs, the title track, the music video, just the overall feel, and them tackling this kind of classical concept. Dubious, I'll have you start off.
So a couple figures I want to share. The album is like #1 in worldwide iTunes for today, which is March 21st. Mm-hmm. They are ahead of Adele and Stray Kids. They're doing well in Korean charts, and also like their day one sales is 231,000.
Okay.
So to put that into perspective, Queendom first day sales was 150. Mm-hmm. And like, so like, the next podcast we're going to talk about their supposed decline apparently, but just to kind of put things in perspective, like, we had compared them a lot to like aespa and stuff, right? But Feel My Rhythm first day sales is 231. aespa Savage did 147, right? So I think in general it's doing well. I think it's fair to say that they're doing very well in terms of albums and reception overall. And I think a lot of people were waiting for them to come back just because they had only one comeback last year. And I think it's really good signs, Granted, of course, like I think everyone needs to understand that album sales right now are inflated. So like if Espo was to come back, they might do similar numbers or even better, right? I'm not saying right now, like suddenly now that like they sold these amount of albums, like oh wow, like Red Velvet's like overtaking Espo now, or like vice versa, right? That's not what I'm just trying to say. I'm just saying like overall, I think it was very good comeback in terms of numbers. And I personally really enjoyed the song. And I think like, dude. So you know how like we talked about like Irene yelling at like the stylist,
Yeah.
which is something that she shouldn't have done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I never fully forgave her for that, right?
And now you do.
I'll say this: if Red Velvet continues to release songs like this, she can yell at any stylist she wants.
You're a bully apologist.
I don't care. I just want. I realize how good old Red Velvet songs truly are. Like I felt that high again today.
Nice.
I was thirsty, and I was fulfilled today. And like, dude, even in like Red Velvet vlogs, like you see like Irene yelling at a stylist in the background. I don't care. Line them all up.
You sound like an 80-year-old who just cured his ED.
Line them up. Line them up one after another. Just in the background, just Irene just yelling, just pointing fingers and stuff, and you can hear her shrieking. It's just like, that's fine. That's fine with me. Just give me another song like this.
Conceptually, I really enjoyed this comeback. I thought it was very, very tasteful. Even the ballerina boxes that they're posing as in the teaser concept or the concept teaser. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know. It just appeals to like the artistic and creative side to me. It's just like really, really pleasant to look at. I like finding like references that I understand. And the main song I liked a lot. Pretty decently. So I'll give this like an A- for a comeback.
That's great.
What would your ranking be actually?
I think mine would probably be there, like A-. I love the track or title track, but for me personally, like the overall album wasn't as, it kind of brings down the score for me personally. But commercially, it's doing very well. And personally, what I wanted to see was a good title track, and that's what I got.
Wait, sorry. I'm gonna make a correction. I just saw the picture of Joy, and I got reminded that she's dating Crush, so B+.
Damn.
B+.
Yeah, this guy's a self-insert.
B+.
No, you're just waiting for that breakup news, aren't you?
I don't know. I like Joy a lot, actually.
Oh, she's your favorite member?
Yeah, I would say.
Oh, interesting.
Mine is stylist yelling Irene.
Right.
That's my favorite member.
Damn.
Honestly, though, if you had a single song like Zimzalbeam, I think you probably.
God.
Yeah, I think you'd probably get mad at whoever's next.
Dude,
Wait,
Zimzalbeam comes out, I'm still not forgiving Irene.
Did you guys like Oompa Oompa?
It was okay.
That was funky. Yeah, it was funky. I liked it.
That's like the copium answer for Red Velvet songs that you don't like.
It fits in like the Willy Wonka kind of like movie.
I think the copium is that it's like I like it.
Yeah, and then just say one thing and then repeat it again because you have no other way. It's just like it's funky. It's funky. Yeah,
it's funky.
That's the copium.
For me though, I think if it's catchy, it's good. That's the one thing. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys are interested in more Red Velvet content, you guys can just wait till April 6th, because that's when Red Velvet will be coming back with their Japanese release called Bloom. So make sure to mark that in your calendars. But that is it for today. The three of us would like to hear your thoughts about Red Velvet's comeback. And if you agree or disagree with any of our points, leave your opinions and comments down below. And of course, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.
If you're interested in a Red Velvet giveaway, let us know. We just don't know what you want. If you even want anything.
No one gets to the end. No one gets to the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
They log off after I say my answer.